Olivia, we have some notes from you. You said modern dating is terrible. Women are the problem. Society should be centered around families and not career-driven. How are women the problem?
Well, it goes back to a lot of things. So I think if you break apart the family, which is telling women that they need a job, men will eventually cave to what a woman wants, because essentially it just comes down to they can't reproduce without a woman. So women can push for certain things, like I want a job, I want the boss bee life. Eventually men will have to give in to that if they do want a bloodline. So that's how they are essentially the problem.
Grid 1 Motorsports donated $200. 5 years in / no ring? You are a good for now girl. He is still looking for wife material. He likes the sex and might be comfy in the relationship, but the future is bleak. Might check your crazy / hot score.
Sound advice.
Okay. Olivia, do you want to continue on with your...
Yeah. And another thing is I've noticed on the podcast, because I've been listening, a lot of women say that when they do sex work, it's not actually sleeping with them. It's probably just going out and having dinner with them and talking to them, because men want that company. So my argument is, well, are women that unapproachable that men have to pay someone to just give them like what they actually want from a woman? Women are not really giving them what they want, so that's how they're kind of the problem.
Okay.
Yeah.
You also said you wanted to talk about why dating and marriage in 2023 is a loss for men.
Yeah.
Women have the wrong priorities. So why is dating marriage a loss for men, and how do women have the wrong priorities?
So women have the wrong priorities, and I think this goes back to essentially women should go through something difficult, especially now in the modern era. Women need to go through something difficult in their life, like have difficult experiences. This way they can actually understand what is valuable, and it's not the materialistic things. It's not having a lot of money or having a nice house or having a boat or whatever it is. So they need to understand like what is actually valuable, because it comes down to when you're 80 years old, yeah, you have all this money, you've made all this money, but you're alone and you don't really have anyone that actually truly values you as a person, like friends or whether it's a relationship.
Oh, okay.
Modest Hikima donated $200. Look at Olivia sitting there like 5 times in 5 hours, being respectful, being normal, being a total hottie. #Olivia Sim.
Do you want to respond to Modest Hikama?
Whoa, Olivia,
No,
you might need to start an OnlyFans. This guy is spending. This guy is spending.
Do you accept his? This sounds like almost a marriage proposal.
Yeah.
Wait,
what's up? Let him change your life.
Modest, next if you want, do you want me to propose to? I will be your proxy. Do you want me to propose to Olivia on your behalf? I have here. This is the. Okay, let me know. Send. Okay. I'll do it if you want. Okay. Sorry, continue with your point.
What was I going? Oh,
I think you're saying women are terrible?
Yeah.
Just kidding. That's what she said.
I think generally speaking, in this day and age, because generally speaking, I saw this great description of, I don't remember where I saw it, but women are born on top of the mountain, men are born at the bottom. So women can only fall, men have to build themselves up. But I think at this point in time, both men and women have to go through difficult experiences to understand what is truly valuable, because at the end of the day, I think I was saying that yeah, you're left with nothing if you have money. Okay, great, you have some money, but that's not truly fulfilling, and you'll just die alone sad.
You also said here, you also provided a couple solutions here. Solution to avoid the losing situation which men have with the divorce laws in place currently, creating a family-driven society in place of career-driven. I think you said that. You also said another solution could be requiring women who want to get married to be virgins and getting married under religion and not government legal marriage. That's not a bad idea. Are you, just curious, are you a virgin?
Yes.
Oh.
Whoa.
Are you waiting until marriage?
Yes, because I know that these statistics, I don't remember exactly where I saw them, but you have an 80% success rate if you are a virgin, or if you wait until marriage. So yeah.
Okay.
As a woman, or both have to be virgins?
I think it's different for a man. I think I mentioned earlier that men can kind of separate that. Like they would sleep with someone they would never end up marrying, whereas women always kind of combine the two. So I think it's different for a man compared to a woman, yeah.
And your age?
I'm 20.
20.
And did you said you weren't super religious, if I recall, like
No,
kind
I'm not
of
super religious, but I would say, yeah, I'm Christian.
a little Christian.
Yeah.
Christian. Okay. But I mean, that's pretty Christian of you, I suppose, to
Yeah.
want to wait until marriage to. Okay, well, good for you. Let's see. You said we need a strong family father figure to help vet out the partner
Yeah.
we're interested in pursuing. So, for example, for you, would you have like a brother or a father figure to help
Yeah, I think
vet a potential partner?
Yeah, like originally, the guy always went up to the father and asked, "Can I marry your daughter?" And it's kind of switched around where it's like the guys are asking, "Okay, what does a woman actually bring to the table nowadays?" So yeah, I think that's where it's important to have a good father figure, brother, if you have a trusted friend to help vet out, because you get kind of clouded in your judgment when you do like someone.
Okay.
So I think that makes it last.
Sure. You also said feminism. Actually, hold on. Before I say this, going around the table, who here considers themselves a feminist? Starting with you.
Not me. No.
No? No?
No.
Okay.
Not me. To an extent.
To an extent? Okay.
No.
I mean, kind of, I guess.
Kind of, you guess.
Yeah, no.
No.
No? Okay.
No,
Wait,
not
you're
a
kind of a feminist?
I think feminism.
Oh, sorry. Hold on.
Modest Hikima donated $200.
This guy fucking loves her.
Olivia is literally the
You gotta
most
find it.
high-value woman you have had on the podcast. Back off Brixton and random black friends.
She's taken.
Oh, I was going to propose on your beat, like for you, like proxy, a proxy
Like a nerd.
proposal. Okay. Dude, thank you so much for your patronage, man. Appreciate it. If Hakama slid into the DMs, would you?
It would depend.
It depends on.
On what? We need to know.
Well, what is his value? If he's saying I'm the highest value.
Oh,
Butler
it's about
donated
herpes.
$200. Little Miss Piggy plastic
Jesus
herpes face in the back
Christ.
needs to stop rubbing her arm against the ballerina. It's a highly contagious pathogen, and your main goal in life is to not spread your plague.
God, bro.
Jesus. All right, man.
Good time. Okay, all right. Jay Butler.
Jay Butler probably hasn't had some
Please
pussy
give
in
her
a
a hug.
while. He's
Please give her a
upset.
hug.
It's okay.
I
Don't
mean,
take it
let's not-
personally.
I think you guys should hug.
Let's not. What?
I think you guys should
can-
kiss.
Whoa, what the?
I'm just saying.
It's kind of.
I don't know. Might trigger some people.
I mean, I just feel bad. I didn't realize I
Okay.
was rubbing my arm against her.
Awkward.
Being a fucking dick.
Anyways,
Don't feel bad. Like what?
Oh, we're going around feminist. Are you feminist? Do you consider yourself a feminist?
Honestly, I don't know. I think so.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay. You said you're sort of a feminist.
I think like feminism is different to different people. I don't think I'm so far feminist, and
Okay.
and like we're equals, and and like I don't need a man, and like all
Right.
this stuff. But I
Okay.
think
All right.
like there are
Sure.
some things that I agree with, like hey, women should be treated with respect. Like, but I mean, I feel the same way about men. So
Okay. So you said in your notes here, feminism has destroyed women and families. Do you want to expand on that?
Well, I think it just went back to what I had said earlier, that if it's a career-driven society,
Okay.
which women wanting a career and not actually placing their family as like their career or the main center of what would fulfill them, I guess, because essentially it's that they care more about their career and not their family, not the relationship, and not that commitment, so then it destroys society eventually, yeah.
I see. Okay.
what about for women who are single?
What do you mean by
Like,
Nick, can you close the door?
I
a
mean,
bit?
you're saying, it destroys the family, like it destroys the relationship. So what about like a single woman, like, being career driven? Is that
It's preventing her from having
And
a family.
It's yeah.
you think? So like, what should women do if you want to live, you want to experience things, you want to live a certain lifestyle? Should women just not be ambitious? Should we just wait for the right man to come and like take care of us and like sweep us off our feet and like just remain virgins and not do anything and work at Subway like Brian
I
said?
think that kind of social media
Arby's
and everyone.
is okay.
Arby's is okay.
I'm
He's
fine
okay.
with Arby's.
He likes the
terrible.
labias. He likes the roast beef.
I think that social media and just the internet in general has painted a picture that everyone needs to have all these experiences, and I think that they're not as fulfilling. Like, you feel that you need that, and I think that just shows a lack of a strong character, that you have to cave to what everyone else is doing to be cool or to feel fulfilled. But I guess, yeah, you can have, I think it's good to have goals and to have a job, but not have that as, that's my main goal in life, I need to be a CEO or whatever it is. So, yeah. You can be working, that's fine, but
Women just shouldn't be as career driven. Their main priority should be to raise a family and have kids.
yeah, because it comes down to what's the most fulfilling for you, and that would be having a family.
You don't think that some women don't get that same fulfillment? Like you think that every woman should be a mother? Like, be serious. Like, think about like the
Hopefully
worst woman you
not.
know. Like, do you think every
There-
woman should be a mother?
there
Every
are-
woman should be a wife. be serious.
There are women and men too that should just not really engage in that.
So then wouldn't that be more fulfilling for her to, to just be career driven and
But
to maybe
she's
make
talking
money?
about what's mostly the case, right?
Right.
Yeah, you're talking about every single.
Yeah.
woman.
I'm talking about individually.
Yeah.
Like, so I'm saying, would it be okay for some women to feel, more fulfilled, not looking for a family, not. Because you were just saying that that's the most fulfilling thing for a woman. So I'm just saying, could there be exceptions? Could some women just...
I think there are exceptions because people get very easily influenced due to social media or what is cool now. So I think if you went back to like getting rid of all the materialistic stuff, yeah, that would still be, generally speaking, the most fulfilling thing. But if you add in all these things, people think that they need these things, then no, it would not seem like the most fulfilling thing.
Do you think every woman has like motherly instincts?
Yeah.
Every single one?
Yeah, I think it just gets a bit, let's say, taken away if they have a bad relationship with their parents, if they didn't have a good childhood. So then naturally that wouldn't come to them because they didn't experience that. But I think if they healed from that, did their own work, then yeah, naturally it would come out.
Also, it doesn't help that our society is pushing this feminist idea to, like I said earlier, focus on your career. You don't need a man. You don't need to get married. Children will just hold you back. They're just a setback. But also, going back to the whole feminism thing, I kind of wanted to talk more about the first wave of feminism. Do you all think that women should have the right to vote?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
No.
I don't.
Right to vote?
But right to vote, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Why?
Oh, do you want to just repeat what you said?
I just want to know.
She's been brainwashed, I think.
I'm not brainwashed. Why do you guys think that women should have the right to vote?
Why not?
Well, women are very emotional
Are you
thinkers.
saying we're not equal to men?
We're not. And we're emotional thinkers. And once women gain the right to vote, our country has become overwhelmingly more liberal and democrat, which is what brings us the culture of thinking that women can be men and men can be women.
Do you
which
just
we all
not
disagree
like that
with.
because you're not liberal? Like,
no,
society
as
pushes different ideas on everyone all the time, and are you just against it because it's pushing being liberal?
Yeah, I'm against that, and I also don't believe that women are
Okay, but
good
what if society was
decision-makers.
pushing to, like, what if it was pushing to be conservative?
That's
You'd be all
crazy.
for that, huh?
No, I do think women are over emotional thinkers. That's how they vote. Can we
You
all
think women are more emotional than men? Women,
She doesn't
like,
like that.
so just as a
She
whole,
does not
like,
like
we just shouldn't be allowed to vote, even though these are things that like are affecting us as well.
Well, I just think
about the
society
majority
would be better.
What about the majority of
Absolutely
that like
not,
shootings that happen? Like,
What's that have to do with
like
voting?
I mean, no, I'm just saying if you're saying that women are more emotional than men, I mean, aren't the majority of those like when those things are happening, aren't they men doing them?
Men are more violent.
Wouldn't that be men being and acting emotionally?
Men are more violent. Women are more emotional. Those are two separate things.
I think
that's
I
the
think that's
reason
still
why there is war in the
like, they're
world, because
angry.
men are rulers, you know.
You think that women would be better rulers than men?
I don't think that women will be better rulers. But
Women
I
can't
think
even handle like high
that
school
there is
friendships.
everything is about power, right? Everything is about power.
Right.
Yeah. So
And
is
we
it
all
good?
agree-
Do you think is it good?
What do you mean that? Do I think everything about power is good? I don't know what that means. My point is that we all kind of agree that we want to be in a traditional relationship, right? And that we want the man to lead. So by default, you would think that men should be leaders, aka in power, and also be making the decisions. I trust a man's decision over my own.
Are all men leaders? Like we should trust all of these
No.
men?
No,
to
you
make
keep on. That's it.
There is
You've-
psychopaths, there is narcissist guys, you know.
One thing
Yeah.
that we have to acknowledge, though, is that women will make decisions that are emotional, but also just like irrational is more concerning, and then think it's okay and stick by. Like the young lady right here who's very intelligent and industrious, she sat here and said, yes, you can die getting your breast augmented, and I did it 3 times. The focus and the priorities of the female can often end up being on things that are petty or trivial. And when you have someone at the helm of a nation or someone as a judge in a court, you want someone who is able to put priorities in proper order. And that's what is at stake when you're talking about voting.
I mean, so what about like these third world countries or whatever that are going to shit and men are running them? I mean, are they like the most fit to do that either?
Well, if
I
they're
mean,
third world, they're not going to
And
SHIT.
it's
They
not
always
because
were.
it's not because a man is running it either.
Yeah.
That's not why they're going to shit. They're just third world countries. They're less developed. They're behind.
I mean,
And
are men
Amer-
not running this country?
And America started going
Yeah,
to
what's your-
SHIT.
But I'm saying, like, regardless, like, there's going to be irrational women and there's going to be irrational men.
Yeah,
That's
I
like the
agree
point
with
that I'm saying.
Can you
like,
point to an example of
there's
a
gonna
woman
be-
leading something that has been successful?
I'm sure women have run companies. I'm sure women have run, you know, like organizations,
Like Theranos?
like businesses. Like, I'm sure there are plenty of things. Women have run families. Like,
Yeah, I
there
think
are a lot of things that women can run. I mean, and just to say that, like, oh, women are, I do agree with you. I do think women are more rational. I do think we're more emotional. I do think, you know, we base a lot of things on our feelings. I understand that. But
So
like,
I don't want you to vote away my private property and my freedom and rights because you're more emotional.
you know, I've seen a lot more like angry and violent and like irrational men than I know women. Like,
I know,
so
but
I
you've kind of like known that you're kind of a man hater from like previous.
I'm not a man
things.
hater. No, I'm not
You
a man
said that
hater.
men. I know you're like joking and being facetious, but you said that men should start off in prison.
It's a joke. Relax.
I know, and I know. All jokes stem from truth. I like to troll, but they all stem from some truth.
Okay, I said that, like, for example, you have a daughter, right? And I mean, let's say she had to go to daycare. Who would you feel more comfortable her being with, a woman or a man?
A woman, because women are caretakers and nurturers. I agree. That's very different.
Would you maybe feel a little uncomfortable a man taking care of your daughter?
It depends on who the man is, but that's why I'm a stay-at-home mom.
But would you feel safer a woman taking care of your daughter? Would you feel safer?
Not necessarily.
You probably
honestly.
would. I think you probably would.
Not necessarily.
And I think most women and most men would probably agree. You would probably want a woman
So just
to
like
do
you're
that.
saying that it's better
Caretakers,
to have
not
a
leaders.
female in a caretaker role, it's also better to have a male in a decision-making role.
Mm-hmm.
So we agree with you in that we have different capacities. And one of the most beautiful things about the woman, you mentioned males are violent, which is true. Women are very loving and inclusive, but sometimes it goes beyond what is good for principle. For example, women's urge to be inclusive is now, okay, yeah, we love everyone. Yes, you're transgender. You can all go into this bathroom, and now you have female swimmers who have to get dressed next to a grown man who's 6'4" and still has a penis because women created these laws that are allowing for this in an effort to be loving and inclusive.
Women created these laws?
Yeah, if you look at the people who are turning out to vote and you look at the feminist thinking, this is gender feminist ideology.
I mean, I don't know. I don't agree with that, but like, I mean,
Oh, you think heterosexual males are creating the laws?
no, I don't
that you
know.
see
I mean,
today?
do you not have to get to a certain point, like in the government, where, you know, like someone's like, hey, we're going to veto this, like this isn't going to work? Is that not like a male who does that, like at the end?
That's interesting. So this is what we're dealing with. We're dealing with ideology, right? So ideology can be implanted in people's minds. Gender feminism, which is different than equity feminism. Equity feminism is the idea that we should all have the equal opportunity, generally speaking. Gender feminism is the false idea that we are the same. Gender feminist ideology has been reigning. That's why you can sit here and say men should start off in prison.
It was a
And
joke. Okay, it was a joke, and honestly, we said, and like, I shouldn't have even put that because that's not how I feel. I don't hate men. I get along with
But
men more
here's
than
the
I get along
point.
with women.
You
Like,
could
that's
you
not
can
even
go
the case.
anywhere in
So-
America and say that, and no one will call you a bad name. You can go anywhere and say that. But conversely, if a male said that, then he'd be instantly called a misogynist.
I agree.
And here's the funny
not
thing.
arguing with you on that.
People don't even know the definition of the word misandry because it's so rarely used.
Mm-hmm.
So the point is that this ideology has bled through America so badly that it has created thinking that's problematic.
Wait, like, where did that even come from? I'm just like confused.
You're asking about the voting and who makes the laws, the legislature.
I guess I'm just saying, like, I think men can be idiots, and I think women can be idiots.
Correct,
And
but-
I think,
but
and
men-
I think we can both be emotional. And
We
I think
never
there are plenty
elevate
of men
male
that we all
idiots.
know that have made
Here's
some
the problem.
that have made some pretty stupid fucking decisions, and that's all I'm saying. And to completely, you know, single out like a gender because they're too emotional, they shouldn't be, you know, like making the rules for our country is just fucking ridiculous. Because there's a lot of
Can I throw in one quick thing?
men who do stupid shit.
We never elevate male idiots, but we often elevate female idiots. I'll give you an example. In my case, I'm here. I went to multiple top universities. I've run successful businesses, open offices around the world. You can Google my name, and my name will come up on Forbes, legitimate sources. I've earned my way here.
You
Any
earned your way or
woman,
you scammed your way here?
right. It's a good question, and I would.
I'm teasing you.
Just one sec.
Women have run companies into the ground. Men have proven to be better parents than women, as more people are in prison when raised in single parent/mother homes than when raised by single father home.
Here's an example. Wasn't when Bud Light did that really gay commercial with Dylan Mulvaney was because a woman made that decision? Like, that was a woman who wanted to have Dylan Mulvaney,
Talk about it.
a tranny, be the face of a beer company.
Let's
Modest
maybe
Olivia
let's avoid
donated
that one.
$200.
Sorry.
It's all good.
Imagine based Olivia.
Here you go.
Oh wait. Olivia W against these random of chicks. Olivia King married chick. Keep it up, you ball of fake Andrew. How much is Ethereum today? Bitcoin? If you don't know, fraud.
Okay.
I like that he has an accent. Dam's going in.
Yeah, he's pretty regular. Okay.
Successful.
Imagine-based Olivia. Wait, W? Okay. Did you guys want to continue the back and forth, or shall we move it
I mean,
on?
I think we'll just agree to disagree. But like, I don't
Okay.
think I do think women are more emotional, but I don't think we should completely, single them out when it comes to, they shouldn't be making any decisions, because there's a lot of stupid fucking
You make
men,
the decision
too.
within the context of your family. Like if you are a married woman, you would speak with your husband and you express your perspective and your knowledge, and then he takes that to the voting booth. And the same thing, you would take that to your father before you're married. So you do have a voice. It's within the context of family. But family's been broken down so badly. It's like we look at ourselves as individual atoms, and that's very unhealthy. That's why today you have high, I don't know if I can say the S word, but high rates of people offing themselves and high rates of loneliness and clinical depression because people are isolated.
I have a brief response, and then we'll move on. You mentioned that men are more violent. In terms of leadership roles, for example, they actually did a review of monarchs in Europe, and they actually found that queens were more likely to war than kings.
That's good to know. And
So,
I mean, that's
so when women are in the top leadership positions, it's not like, oh, this is just going to be a perfectly peaceful reign. Like, no, queens were just as likely or more likely to go to war
that's what
than
I'm saying.
kings.
I don't think
But-
I'm not saying that women should be reigning over
No,
anything.
but you mentioned
either.
you brought up violence, but the other thing is related to relationships. So when it comes to domestic violence, for example, we talk often, oh man, they're these violent pigs, whatever. But if let's remove heterosexual relationships from it. Let's look at gay relationships. So lesbian women are much more likely to batter their partners than gay men. So how could it be you have two men who are men are presumably more inclined to violence? When you have two men in a relationship, they're less likely than heterosexual couples to batter each other. They're the least likely among any sort of coupling arrangement. Whereas lesbian couples, they're more likely to batter each other than in heterosexual relationships, and it's two women. So that's a very interesting DV statistic, and you're welcome to look it up. It's absolutely true. So is it really the case that men are these tyrant, brutally violent? I think it's a very
what about
small...
in terms of SA? Like,
Okay,
what are the
I mean,
statistics with
Women
I
that?
wanted to
can't
make
do
a
it.
quick point.
Women can't commit that.
Women can commit that with, little
Well, the way they
boys, little
define,
girls.
I don't want to linger.
I mean,
I'm not
that's
going
what
to
I'm saying.
linger.
I don't
We're going to
wanna,
move on. We're
Yeah,
moving
we can move on.
I'm not
That's
going to
okay.
linger on that.